For many traditions, it seems that the mind needs to be abolished and get rid of, and then there's only what is, and there are no more concepts. And that then is going to pave the way for the true realization of yourself. That's not true. The mind is not a problem at all when it is seen for what it is. The mind does not house you. Your identity cannot be found in the mind. This is so important to know. But the mind itself is no problem. On the contrary, the mind is a beautiful tool. It's very unique to us. And it's a delight to use it. When we truly know it for what it is, when we see it for what it is, then it can actually be much more efficiently the tool that it is. We can use the mind way better when we disidentify from it. Because then it only comes into being whenever it's relevant, whenever we conjure it up, when we want it to be there. When the mind is not relevant, there's just pure awareness, pure isness of what is. And when the mind can come into being for a reason, it is much sharper, it is much stronger, much brighter, and it can be used much more efficiently. And it's a beautiful thing. Why on earth would we want to lose the mind? I personally love my imagination. It's great. My imagination, my knowledge, I love to work with it. I love to use it. But it's a tool. You see, it becomes very, very clear to you when you get to know yourself that the mind is like a playground of knowledge and colors and shapes. And it does not house you, but it houses copies of whatever you experienced. And it houses, concepts. Also about wisdom and so on. So wisdom is something that is seen, not something that you have or that you know. It's something that you see with the right approach. You can see wisdom. You can discover it. But then the mind can kick in and can make a copy of that wisdom and can bring it into words. And those words can be communicated, or they can be written down on a note and then passed on to somebody else. That's the mind's job. So the mind can copy wisdom for purposes, for communication, for storage, and for your own recollection and so on. That the mind can do. And what is wrong with that? Nothing at all. There's nothing wrong with the mind whatsoever. A beautiful human tool. The mind is so enormously distinct from your spirit essence. And just as well as with your body, you see, you can see very well the big difference between your physical body and your mental body, right? When you think about your own imagination, when you imagine something, that world that you imagine, that is so much different than your physical body, right? Well, your spirit body, which you might maybe not be so familiar with yet, but you will, but that body is just as distinct from the mind as the mind is from the body. When you truly get to know it, when you truly can identify with that spirit loose from everything else, then you see that the physical body and the mental body, the mind, are representations, are expressions of that spirit. That spirit is your soul, it's the breath of God, it's your essence, your vibration, your unique vibration. It has as its expression the body and the mind. But the mind, when it is truly seen for what it is so distinct from that spirit that it does not pose a problem anymore. You see, the problem with the mind is when we identify with it, when we think that we are the mind, when we think that we are our knowledge and our imagination, yes, then the mind becomes a problem, becomes a hindrance to what we are. But when we see that that's not the case, the mind is nothing to let go of. Imagine if you would let go of your mind. You know, everybody knows that the mind, the brain, is like a muscle. If you don't use it, then you lose it. So what you'll end up with is a mind that cannot be used, that does not have any function anymore, you're going to lose that whole world that the mind can conjure up and create. The mind is such a beautiful and practical tool. It creates time. How awesome is it to use time? Right? I love to use time. Time is a faculty of the mind. Imagine if you wouldn't have a mind anymore, we couldn't use time. Oh, that would be such a shame, right? Just like the physical body. To have the physical body the way you want it to be, to create it the way you want it to be. Isn't that great? What's so wrong with that? No, nothing wrong with it. You see, the problem with the mind is indeed when we identify with it. When we do not know who we truly are. We are not the mind. We do not live in the mind. We have a mind. The mind does create a sense of a self connected to the physical body. That's very normal. That is a mind creation. It's a practical thing, and it just comes with the body. It's very normal to have that. That is part of the mind, but that is of course not who we are. We are so different than that self that the mind creates. The self that the mind creates is a functional, practical thing, but it is not, of course, who we truly are. So when we know that, then the mind really becomes a beautiful expression of ourselves, and nothing to be, abolished, nothing to be get rid of. The mind should be seen as that beautiful human expression of our true essential self. So celebrate the mind, use it, develop it. It will sharpen on itself, and it will get its full potential for you when you know who you truly are. It happens automatically when you know yourself and when you do not push away your mind. Then it becomes its optimal version, you could say. And that's a beautiful thing. It's great to express yourself that way and to use it in the world, like timing and so on, knowledge, imagination, creation. That's what the mind can do for you as a great tool. So develop it, use it, have fun with it. Very important. Have fun with your mind. Because it is the fun that you put into your mind and into your mental creations that actually optimizes it, makes it the best that it can be. And of course, know yourself. Because when you know yourself, which is a totally different practice than anything you do with the mind, but when you know yourself, then the mind becomes this thing that you can put on and off like a light switch. And when you can do this, you get way more control over it. And then it optimizes itself. And then it can be used to its full potential. Don't make it into your enemy. The enemy is only when you do not know yourself other than the mind. So don't make it an enemy. Express yourself using your mind and have fun with your mind. The mind is a great, beautiful human tool. And I just wanted to make a video about that because so often in spiritual circles, the mind is seen as an enemy or something, to be pushed away, to be let go of or something. No, not the case at all. Let go of your identification with mind. You do not house in the mind. What a joke. But the mind itself is not the problem. So I just needed to communicate that. That's it for this video. Enjoy your day. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.